Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to tackle a really big topic, machine learning operations, or MLOps for short. We're going to figure out how it takes those really cool AI prototypes and actually makes them work in the real world.
Okay, so let's kick things off with a scenario that honestly is way too common in the AI world. You've got this brilliant model, right? In the lab, it's an absolute rock star, aces every single test. But then you push it out into the real world, into production, and it just falls apart. Its performance tanks. And here's the kicker. It's not usually the model's fault. It's everything else, the process around it that's broken.
So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why that happens, and more importantly, what the solution is. We'll look at the AI production problem, introduce MLOps, check out its lifecycle, put it head-to-head with DevOps, and then wrap up with why you really, truly need both. All right, let's get right into it. The AI production problem. You might have heard people talk about the AI graveyard. It sounds dramatic, but it's a real thing. It's where all these super promising models go to die. They look great on paper, they work in a controlled environment, but they never actually make it out into the real world to deliver any value. Why? Because getting them there and keeping them there is just so incredibly hard. And see, this is the core of it. Traditional software is pretty static. You write the code, you ship it. But AI systems, they're totally different. They're living, breathing things. Because they're built on data, and real-world data is messy and it never stops changing. This creates all these unique headaches, right? Like data drift. That's when the data your model sees in the real world starts looking completely different from the data it was trained on. And poof, your model's accuracy just goes down the drain. Throw in some siloed teams who aren't talking to each other, a bunch of hidden technical gremlins, and yeah, you've got a recipe for disaster. But this is where our hero, MLOps, comes into the picture. MLOps, or machine learning operations, is basically the rulebook, the framework built from the ground up to tackle these exact problems. It's all about how you build, deploy, and most importantly, maintain machine learning systems so they actually work reliably, at scale. So what is it, really? Well, you can think of MLOps as an engineering culture, a whole mindset. It takes the ideas that made DevOps so successful for software and applies them to the wild world of machine learning. The goal is to create a standardized, automated way to handle the entire life cycle, from the moment you get your data all the way to deployment and everything that comes after. And if you look at the core goals of MLOps, you can see how they're a direct answer to the chaos we just talked about. Automation, that fixes those fragmented, disconnected workflows. Reproducibility, that means you can actually trust your results and get them again. And things like solid monitoring and governance, well, that's your defense against model decay and all the risks that come with it. It's really all about taming the chaos of these data-driven systems. Okay, so that's the what and the why. But what does the MLOps lifecycle actually look like in the real world? The key thing to remember is that it's not a straight line from A to B. It's a circle, a continuous, automated loop. And here's that loop in action. You start with preparing your data, right? Then you train the model. Then you deploy it so it can start making predictions. But, and this is the most important part, you then monitor it constantly. The moment that monitoring system flags that, hey, performance is slipping or the data has drifted, it automatically kicks off the whole process again. The pipeline retrains the model on fresh data and pushes out the new, improved version. It's this cycle that keeps the AI sharp and relevant. Okay, so this probably brings up a big question in your mind. If MLOps is all about automation and continuous delivery, isn't that just DevOps? Are we just slapping a new name on an old idea? And the answer is kinda yes and a big no. They absolutely share the same spirit, the same philosophy, but what they focus on is totally different. Think about it like this. DevOps is all about the code. The entire universe of DevOps revolves around source code, how you build it, how you package it. MLOps, on the other hand, is centered on data and models. It has to worry about everything DevOps does, for sure, but then it adds this whole other layer of complexity. You've got massive data sets, you've got feature engineering, and you've got the models themselves, which aren't static code. They change and evolve with new data. This table really lays it all out, doesn't it? Look at the artifacts. DevOps is dealing with source code. MLOps, it's code plus datasets plus models. The lifecycle is different too. DevOps is build, test, deploy. MLOps adds that crucial retrain step that makes it a loop. The teams are different. You're bringing data scientists into the mix. And monitoring? It goes way beyond just checking if the server's up. You're tracking model performance, data drift, even fairness.
It's a whole new ballgame. So you can see why this isn't an either-or situation. It's not MLOps versus DevOps. To really succeed with AI, you absolutely have to have both of them working together, side by side. Here's the best way to think about it. DevOps is the foundation of your house. It makes sure the plumbing works, the electricity is on, the application, the infrastructure is healthy and stable. MLOps is the smart home system you build on top of that foundation. It's the specialized layer that makes sure the AI part, the model, is accurate, relevant, and reliable. You need the solid foundation, and you need the smart system on top. Try to do one without the other, and the whole thing falls apart. So why should you care about all this? What's the bottom line? Well, putting a solid MLOps practice in place delivers real, measurable business value. It means your models get to production way faster, you can actually see how they're doing and catch problems before they become disasters, you save money in the long run because of all the automation, and your teams, from data scientists to engineers, are actually speaking the same language. MLOps is what turns a cool science project into a product that actually makes money. And just to leave you with a final thought, let's look at what's next. The explosion of generative AI and these huge large language models, or LLMs, is already stretching what we thought MLOps could do. We're facing brand new challenges, right? Like insane computational costs, how to handle human feedback in the loop. It's forcing the entire field to evolve again. The core ideas are still the same, but trust me, the next chapter in taming AI in the wild is just getting started.